Welcome to MarketTamer.com. It is Thursday, July 23rd, and we're looking at a chart of the S&P 500. As always, nothing in this video shall constitute a recommendation to buy or sell any given security. As always, please contact your financial advisors. So, if we're looking at this chart of the S&P 500, what we see is almost a perfect example of the system that we teach in Module 7. And again, if you haven't paid attention to that system or learned it yet, please go ahead and do so. It's a valuable system, especially when we see moves like this one. Why do I say that? Well, we had the perfect crossing showing a bullish signal. I pointed out in the video that day that we had seen bullish reversal from a bearish trend, and we have continued higher. We've had perfect pullbacks to a 5-day and continued higher. It's not to say we won't get a reversal intraday or later on in the week, but so far the bullish trend has remained intact, and the best way to trade really is based on what the market dictates to us. So with that said, let's talk a little bit further about that in the context of the Dow Jones. The Dow Jones has also demonstrated something similar. And the best way to actually learn from this trend here, just in case you might have missed it, is to look back in time. And you'll recall when I was discussing the bearish trend here, just over a week or so ago, we were discussing the fact that the market had been in a bearish trend. Everything had been perfect on that trend downwards, except for this up day, and this was a bullish reversal. And sometimes we'll get whipsaws. Sometimes, we'll see an up day and then we'll continue downwards. But in general, we have to stick with a system, even if that means that we have to change our positions. And recall some of the videos I've posted on psychology of trading and commitment. Once you've entered a bearish position, maybe if you had back here, it's very hard to then on a dime turn and switch bullish, or delta neutral, or lean bullish, or maybe close out some bearish positions. And yet that is what is necessary when the market dictates to do so. So please, if you haven't looked at those psychology of trading videos, please go ahead and do so. They're very valuable in understanding your own thought process when the market surprises you. And this reversal here was essentially a surprise to most of us, including ourselves here. And yet we managed to make money off it because we took action right away. We didn't hold we didn't hold back in trying to predict what would happen. We simply traded what did happen. If we look to the NASDAQ, what we've seen is a very, very bullish continuation pattern for many days here. And our expectations had been for the S&P 500 to get slightly higher than where it's at right now on this move higher, but we're not exceptionally bullish beyond maybe another 10 or 15 points. We should have some pullback at that point. Similarly for the NASDAQ here, we would not expect a continuation. I think we're up about 12 days in a row, and a pullback should be expected very shortly. If we look to Exxon here, this is a position I wanted to discuss in the context of our Watch the Pros feature. As it turns out, we got into Exxon, a bull put spread, right around this crossover, which is again aligned with our Module 7 trading system. We continued higher, and today what's happened is we've reached the 200-day moving average. Once we hit that, I alerted members to that. Personally, I'm closing out positions at that level, and my rationale for that is that the risk of holding this position for the next 3 or 4 weeks through to August expiration and through earnings does not outweigh the small premium that is left on the bull put. Essentially, in the space of a week, about somewhere in the order of 2/3, I believe, of the profit and credit on that bull put has been made, and so the remaining premium is simply not worth the risk accompanying it. That said, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask us in our forum section or come to classes. We look forward to seeing you at MarketTamer.com.